Now, let us look at the human transport system. Transportation is an important life process. Materials required for nutrition, respiration, and excretion are supplied by the transport system. Heart, blood, and blood vessels are the three important parts of the human transport system. Just like how an electric motor pumps water in the pipes, heart pumps the blood into the blood vessels. Our heart is a muscular organ. It is in the size of our fist. Heart does two important jobs. The first job is to collect deoxygenated blood from the different parts of the body and send it to the lungs for the oxygenation. This task is done by the right side chambers of the heart. The second job is to collect the oxygenated blood from the lungs and supply it to the different parts of the body. This task is done by the left side chambers of the heart. But these two tasks are to be performed at the same time. At first, left atrium and right atrium gets relaxed. Then left atrium gets the oxygenated blood from lungs. Right atrium gets the deoxygenated blood from the body parts. Now, both these chambers get contracted and pump the blood into the bottom chambers. Now the left ventricle get contracted and sends the oxygenated blood to the body parts. At the same time, right ventricle pumps the deoxygenated blood into lungs. Animals like birds and mammals have a four-chambered heart. In the circulatory system of these organisms, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood circulates separately. The blood travels through the heart twice in one complete cycle of blood circulation. One time between the heart and lungs and the second time between the heart and body parts. So, this type of circulation is called double circuit circulation or double circulation. Now, we will study about the blood and blood vessels. In our body, we have three different types of blood vessels named as arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries carry the oxygenated blood from heart to different parts of the body. Heart pumps the blood into arteries with great pressure. Arteries have thick and elastic walls to resist this blood pressure. Veins collect the deoxygenated blood from the body parts and carry it to the heart. Veins do not have thick walls since the pressure of blood is low in veins. But veins have valves in them. Due to these valves, the flow of blood takes place only in one direction. To supply the materials to cells, arteries split into thin fine tubules called capillaries. These capillaries join together to form the veins. If our blood vessels are cut in any accident, blood flows out through these blood vessels. This leads to loss of blood. To stop the bleeding, blood platelets move to the site of the leakage and plug the cut temporarily. Just like blood circulatory system, we have another system in our body called as lymphatic system. Lymph flows in this lymphatic system. Lymph is a colorless fluid. The liquid part of the blood is called plasma. This plasma escapes out the circulatory system through the small pores present in the walls of the capillaries. This fluid gets accumulated in the intercellular spaces of different tissues. Later, this fluid becomes the lymph. This lymph enters the lymphatic vessels through the lymph capillaries. Finally, these lymph vessels open into the large veins. Lymphatic system does two important jobs. The first job of lymph is to absorb the digested fats in the intestines. The second job is to collect the extracellular fluid and deposits it into the bloodstream. These are the important points of the animal transport system. Now, we will study about the plant transport system. The requirement of energy in plants is less. That's why they have a slow transport system. In plants, the transport of food and water takes place by two different types of tissues. They are xylem and phloem. The food that is prepared in the leaves of the plants during photosynthesis has to be supplied to different parts of the plants. This process is called as translocation. The translocation of food materials like glucose takes place through phloem tissue in plants. This translocation takes place in both upwards and in downwards directions. Energy is required for the process of translocation. Cells get this energy from ATP. At first, with the use of energy from ATP, sucrose enters the phloem tissue. Then, the osmotic pressure inside the phloem tissue increases. Now, due to this osmotic pressure, water enters the phloem tissues. Now with this pressure, food materials are taken to different tissues of the plants. Phloem transports the food as per the requirements of the plants. For example, in spring season, buds need food material for flowering. Then the phloem transports the food from stem or root. The transportation of water takes place through xylem tissues in plants. Plant parts like stems, branches, roots and leaves have xylem vessels and tracheids in them. Now, we will see how the water enters into the roots. The cells of the roots that comes in contact with the soil actively takes the ions from the soil into them. Due to this kind of active transport of ions, the difference in the concentration of ions develops between soil and root cells. To balance this difference, water enters the roots. During night, the transportation of water in plants takes place through root pressure. During daytime, plants keep their stomata open for the process of transpiration. Due to this transpiration, water moves up in the xylem.